Hey, what's up, everybody? Back again with another one. Uh, Quick question though for everybody out there that is religious or believes in Christianity. If Jesus is supposed to come back, I mean, some people say Jesus has already came back, and we're living in times after Jesus. But besides that, let's say Jesus is coming back still, right? When is Jesus coming back? And if he is coming back, how is he gonna come back? If he's in heaven, sitting next to God, how is he going to just come back? Is he going to come back as a spirit? Is he going to come back as an entity? Is he going to come back as a human? I mean, what do you think? What I think is that the only logical thing is God would make Jesus come back as a human on earth. If Jesus existed, say Jesus exists, and Jesus is coming back, well, what is he going to do? Just appear as a god to us? No, I mean, I don't think that's how. He didn't come as a god the first time, so he came as a human the first time. So wouldn't you think that his second incarnation or his second time being on Earth, he would come back as a human? So what kind of human would he be? Would he be sinless this time, or would he be a sinner? So then he could understand better what it's like to be a sinner and know what the people feel and how they are led into temptation, rather than being so perfect and godly that you don't experience those things. Because that's the big difference between Jesus and everyone else, is that Jesus, if he was sinless, then nobody can be like him. It excludes every single person, because a little child sins, and Jesus is supposed to be our salvation to heaven. But I don't think that's how it works. I think that if you kill somebody and you believe in Jesus, and you try to uh, put all your faith in Jesus, I still think that you're going to hell, because that's fucked up that you killed somebody. So, is Jesus coming back as a human? That's the real question that I'm trying to get at. Is Jesus coming back a human? Is Jesus going to come back a sinner? Because if I was God, what I would do is I would make Jesus come back and experience sin, and let Jesus sin, and then let him understand that sin is bad, it is the wrong choice, and it's easy to fall into those temptations, and then how to overcome it, and then be a God from being a sinner. Because if you can reach the level of God hierarchy from being a sinner, that's magnificent. But if you're already a God and you just ascend to the level of God, then that's not very powerful. If Jesus was so divine since birth, and he just had everything handed to him, he's not really that special. He was just a god or whatever. That don't make him special to humans, though. He's just he's probably a nobody to the gods. You know what I mean? So, do I think Jesus is coming back? If Jesus existed, I don't think Jesus is going to come back. Why would he go to heaven and then come back? What's the purpose of dying and dealing with the purpose of getting crucified and being put on the cross, to ascend into heaven, to overcome death and become a god, and then just for it to all start over and have him come back and be a human again, and have to experience life and death again when it's supposed to be finished? The last words Jesus said were, "It is finished." A 12-word phrase that proves God's fingerprint, but it's supposed to be finished. So he shouldn't have to come back. You know, some people are going to say, they're going to disagree with me and say that no, he's coming back. He's coming back. Some people are going to say that Jesus don't exist. Some people are going to say he's not coming back. People are going to have contradicting answers, and that's why I want you to leave a comment. Tell me what you think. But do you think Jesus is going to come back as a sinner, or come back as a sinless child again? All I'm saying is, if I was God, I would definitely make Jesus a sinner for the second round on earth if I'm going to send him back to earth in the first place. I'm going to send him back to earth the second time and let him be a sinner and let him live amongst the sinners, let him sin, and then let him have to overcome sin, because that's harder than anything, is overcoming the ability to stop sinning and sin no more. Go along and sin no more, Jesus said. So can anybody just sin no more? That's the hard part. Can you create sin in your life and then just be able to just eliminate it completely? Whether you put your faith in Jesus or God or yourself, can you overcome that desire and that need to bend the rules and sin and do things that aren't approved by God according to the Ten Commandments? I think Jesus is going to come back a sinner. I think that he should come back a sinner if he doesn't, because I don't think that we can really value and put Jesus on the pedestal that we put him on, being a sinless entity. How are we supposed to relate to that? For us to idolize somebody and worship somebody, they should be somebody that is like us, that reached a certain level that we want to attain, not something that's impossible for no one to achieve. Nobody is going to achieve the level that Jesus had and be completely sinless and born a virgin. I mean, come on. The story is so far fetched that it almost, if it is true, it's crazy that it's true. But if it's not true, then it's very plausible because it makes sense. But who knows? I'm not saying that I believe anything one way or another. I just want you to understand that a lot of the stuff in religion just doesn't make any sense. It sounds so far fetched, so off the chain, so ridiculous. That's why when some people who are not in religion and they look at it and they're talking about it, it's like these people are nuts. They're talking about some off the wall, off the chain stuff, and that's like normal to them. You know what I mean? But that's all I got for this one. Praise Yeshua, praise Yeshu, praise Allah, praise God, praise Elohim. And that's all I got for this one. RIP to the fallen ones. Money God.